thanks for a very nice introduction. Good morning, good day, namaste, DG, and all the dignitaries. Thank you for giving me these few minutes, and also thank you for shuffling the program a little bit so that I can go and put those akshats on a boy who is waiting at about 10 past 12. So, if I have to talk on innovation and flexibility, I suppose it's a good representation that we have to shuffle our program a little bit. Next one, please. Is the dongle working? My presentation. My presentation is already loaded. Okay, while that is happening, since I have got only a few minutes, I might continue. We had great honor when Kalyanda was our Rotary International President, and he visited Sydney because his son happens to be living in Sydney. And it was great to interact with him on a one-on-one basis, and we set up some strategies for my club as well. And then my club applied across RI, so we know we have 30,000 plus clubs, and my club was selected amongst 200 clubs for experimenting in Rotary with innovation and flexibility. And we are given a 3-year charter. So current president is Brendan Trevartha, and next year we have got Dr. Bruce Farnsworth, and we are all involved in these 3 years in experimenting with how Rotary can function differently and innovatively, and in a way that will be heard already about membership. So in a way that will attract a younger generation, which, unlike most of us, does not necessarily meet face to face. So here are some of my, not this. Okay, no problems. I will continue. I'll share with you what my club did, and we have got our 5 avenues of service. As the president of my club, which has 48 years history in St. Ives in Sydney, a membership of about 48, and an average age of 69. So some places where I'm still considered as baby. And yeah, there you go. And that Warata over there is our flag, and I forgot to bring the flag, but I am electronically offering it to your district. This was our Rotary Grace, which I had also translated in Hindi. I'll tell you a little bit more about it later. When Kalyanda came, he said he was first of all surprised, pleasantly surprised, that I was speaking in English, Hindi, Marathi, and Gujarati. Because I am born and brought up in Gujarat. My mother tongue is Marathi, and Unhel is a village near Nagda, right here in Madhya Pradesh. And my ancestors came from Jesuit to Madhya Pradesh about 7 generations ago. My cousin brother over there, Hemant Unhelkar, is a local Indore person, manager at State Bank of India. So I was able to speak quite crystal clear Hindi as well. It was great fun. This was the message he eventually sent to my club, where, as you can see, he is quoting Paul Harris, who says the world is constantly changing. And that is the little theme of what I have to present. Change is why we are here in Rotary. It is what we strive for. The only addition I would like to make is that you and I are living in quite a different world. We are living in a world of social media. We are living in a world where our next generation, whether it wants to buy a house, a car, a fridge, or a pen, will not go and search for it in the market. It will actually go on Facebook, and it will post, as my daughter does. And if Facebook is the marketplace from where the future Rotarians are going to come, then we, you and I, as leaders of Rotary, have to go to that market and search for our future Rotarians over there. That is what I'm trying to highlight. We followed the strategic plan, so all my fellow friends who are going to become presidents next year, please have a look at the strategic plan. I think it is a great professional business document which I found very valuable, and so does President Brendan Trevartha, who is now following into my shoes. This is how I had created the leadership plan, and this PowerPoint presentation is available on the laptop over here. Feel free to use it, copy it, and create your own leadership plan or anything else you find of value. Our 5 avenues of service, and this is where I'll spend just a couple of minutes. These are the various areas where my club has brought about change. And although yours may not be exactly the same change, but if it gives you some ideas, then my purpose is served. We started recording our speakers with permission and putting them up on YouTube. As you know, we have to make a certain percentage of attendance. On my way to Indore, I was in Kuala Lumpur, and I made my makeup with President Jairaj in Rotary Club of KL Metro. And he tells me his daughter is right here in this district. So what a nice coincidence. And if we have to make those kind of makeups, then it is also necessary we shift some of them to YouTube or any other media. My club has met for 47 years in the evening at 6:30. And my club is called a red wine club, because every Wednesday evening at 6:30, every member of the club has a glass of red wine and whatever meal we have to have while we talk about Rotary work. For the first time, I created a special breakfast meeting at 6:30 in the morning. Out of 48 members, 26 turned up. All of them complained because they didn't want to get up in the morning at 6:30, and 2 of them said, we will never have another breakfast meeting because the hotel does not serve red wine at 6:30 in the morning. So something else, my fellow presidents, you may want to keep in mind. We gave a lot of importance to occupational health and safety. Rotary meetings should be safe meetings. So, our members used to tilt the chairs in order to reserve their seats. And we changed it to dinner tags, name tags. We did quite a few things. Even wires used to float around and our elderly members might trip. Something else you may want to keep in mind. I used surveymonkey.com extensively for all my board decisions. So I had board members traveling in China, South Africa, US, UK. They were all able to vote. Very quick, small SurveyMonkey. We have our club runner. We are using that quite heavily. Our eldest member is a Australian World War digger, Wal Edwards. He's 95. So to compliment him, I managed to recruit the youngest member probably in our district, in his early 20s, Dr. Pratik Rastogi. And when both of them shake hands, we are really feeling very proud. I showed you the prayer in Hindi. We had some members who are staunch Christians. And as Kalyanda was continuously promoting, Rotary is a non-religious, non-political organization. I tried to change the wordings of the grace, which is the Rotary grace before dinner, and I was hammered by these 3 very strong Christians, because I tried to change the wordings to a prayer that will be non-religious. And it was done with the help of PDG Brian Coleman, who himself is a good Christian and a good Rotarian. And he said, Bhuvan, you can change the words and they will not be anti-anything. But I lost 3 members. I had 3 resignations, including the treasurer, because they felt that I was doing something that was against their faith. I believe they should come here. I believe they should visit Africa. I believe they should visit various countries to see that 1.2 million Rotarians do not belong to a particular faith. I decided to highlight this to you because if you bring about changes, be prepared for them. Although I was very well prepared, I ran into some difficulties when I brought this change. And finally, everything that belongs to our future is going to be on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. My classification in Rotary is software engineering. And I am an IT person through and through. And I know how Facebook is going, and I know the pluses and the minuses. And I would prefer that my son does not spend as much time on Facebook as he does. But at the same time, I know that our future has to be electronic as much as face-to-face. So there are other competing organizations, and I listened about them when the first e-club in Australia, Rotary Club of Greater Western Sydney or Greater East Sydney, something like that was launched. I went to the charter meeting and they were saying meetup.com is a competitor to Rotary in some way. What I would like to do strategically is to make meetup.com complementary to Rotary rather than a competitor. So there are a few other things, I'll just go through them very quickly. Again, promoting networking and social media. And don't ignore any of the strengths of the social media. I had quite a few things planned to speak, but I'm running out of time. I introduced this program, which some of you president friends might find interesting. I asked each member to pick another member, or we picked out of a draw, and said, you have to give a 3-minute talk on your fellow member. What he does or she does, where has she come from, what is his or her contribution to Rotary. It was a very, very successful program that went around the entire year. So I do encourage you to consider such things that make our Rotary meetings so very interesting. And here is another quote, almost concluding, that I am told Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru used to also love. And that is, I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. Let's enjoy the journey. Here is compliments from Asha and Bhuvan Unhelkar. I and my wife welcome you all to Sydney. I know many of you have got friends, many of you have got nephews, nieces who are studying in Australia. Australia is a very, very nice place. Australia is a very safe place. And I am an ambassador of India in Australia, but at the same time I am an ambassador of Australia when I am visiting India. And that is the beauty, that is the charm of Rotary. और अंत में हिंदी में ही इस छोटी सी बातचीत का अंत करते हैं। दोस्तों, आपने मुझे यहाँ पे बुलाया और 10-15 मिनट का वक्त दिया। मैं सिर्फ यहाँ पे एक मेकअप करने के लिए आने वाला था, लेकिन नितिन जी ने तो मुझे कहा कि आप यहाँ पे ये प्रेजेंटेशन भी दें। फिर अभी टाइम मैच नहीं हो रहा था, तो आपने एडजस्ट भी किया, तो उसके लिए भी मैं आपका शुक्रगुजार हूँ। और मैं चाहूंगा कि मेरे भाई हेमंत उनलकर आगे चल के रोटेरियन बन जाए, तो आप सब लोग उनको इनवाइट करिएगा। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, धन्यवाद। थैंक यू वेरी मच डॉक्टर भूपन उनलकर।
इस बारे में मैं एक शेयर कहना चाहूँगा।
I would like to give a small memento to you, sir, on behalf of Rotary District 3040. Give a big hand for a very good presentation. And we invite Hemanji in our club, sir, yeah, in any club of Indore. Ask him to join us. We will be in touch with him. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, and